Happy Quilt Day! It is the third Saturday in March, which is always Quilt Day. Somebody invented Quilt Day quite a few years ago now, and it's marvelous. I'm Pat Sloan. Welcome to my neighborhood. On Quilt Day, you have to sew, and I'm very excited because usually I'm not home. I don't get to sew. I'm on the road or actually teaching in a classroom where everybody else is sewing. But I've not had a chance to sort of be in my space and think about it and want to do something with all of you online. So I'm here, and we're sewing today my Zigzag table runner, which you can download. I've got the link here, and it uses, it's written for charm packs, which are 5-inch squares. So you can either do that or cut your own 5-inch squares, or I'm going to show you now how I'm cutting triangles with my Gemini die cut. Because with the Gemini, it's cutting accurately exactly what I need, and it's cutting off all the little dog ears, so I don't have to trim anything afterwards. I don't have to square them up. All I do is cut and sew, which is a lot of fun. And I've been showing you on my online neighborhood at Quilt Along with Pat Sloan at Facebook, the different fabrics. I had a bunch of different bundles, and I thought, well, which one would I do? And I finally decided on Trixie because it's got these really darling little mice. So let me pick here. I can pick up one of the mice fabrics. One of the mice fabrics. Look how cute this is. This is a fabric by Heather Ross, and it is so incredibly darling. Everything about it. It's got the sweetest little strawberries. Here, I'll show you that one. There's sweet little strawberries and lots of gingham. There's yellow strawberries. And where's the gingham piece? Here's a gingham. And then there's also a floral, and there's all different colors. So I decided, because there's so many different colors, that I am going to use the white with black dots. So this is an essential dot. It's not pin dots, it's just little dots, sort of further apart, which I like, because that way I can use all the different colors in Trixie, and I'm going to cut 2 from each piece of fabric in the line. So let's take a look. So here are some of the other colors. There's a turquoise, and then there's also this amazing green. Oh my gosh, I love this green. And then there's also actually a dark green. So there's the dark green, that's the mice. And then there's this fun print, big print. Most of these are little prints, except for the mice are medium. And then there's this great big pennant that is like a harlequin. It's just so cute. It's got all the different fabrics in there. So I will be cutting triangles from all of these. And what I'm doing with the die cut machine is I'm cutting just a rectangle about 5.5 by 6.5, because I can do 2 triangles this way. I mean, sorry, not 2. I can do a set of triangles this way, and then I'll run it through the machine. Then these will come out, and then I will just flip the die over here, and then I will cut the other half. And I've got 6 of these layered, so there's 6 fabrics here, and I'll be doing these all at once. Now, if you're not familiar with the die cut machine, here are the dies. They have a ridge on one side. They are not sharp, like I'm holding it. There's nothing sharp, which is super cool. And it's also totally open so that I can see everything that I'm doing. And it is, let me get the machine over here a second so you can see it. The machine is, I call it sort of like a pasta machine in a way. It's rollers. So we're going to put this sandwich of, shims and plates through here with the fabric in it, and then what it will do is it will just press this down, like through 2 layers, and that will press through the fabric and cut it. So when you're layering all this, and I have a bunch of videos, I'll link to those if you don't know how to do that, hadn't seen those yet. You have these hard plastics, and they don't bend, right? They're really sturdy. And then you have the metal, and it is bendable, and it'll get used up eventually. You can see they all get marks. That's just the way it works. And then you would put the fabric like this. And what I do is I angle it so that you run the rollers coming like kind of across like this. I prefer that than having it flat right here. I think it makes everything last longer. Get less marks. It just evenly distributes the roller. And I've had had good success that way. Then you put your plastic shim on top, and this is the plastic shim, and it is pliable. See, and it's it's opaque. It's not like the hard one. Now sometimes these get a little warped. Let me pull this up here. Whoops, wrong way. Let me just pull this up one second. So if you're working with these and they get a little warped like this, you know, eventually when they're warping like that, they can be a little tougher to put through, and you just can buy a new one. But I also thought, well, what if there's something else I could use instead of this that would make it go through and maybe not warp quite as quickly as that was, you know, because I'm using it a lot. So that means, you know, if you're using it a lot, you're doing a lot of work with it. So I decided to tape some cardstock. So this is 6 pieces of cardstock. It's just taped. The tape does, you know, this is just painter's tape, but any tape will matter because it's not heat activated or anything. So you just put some tape. So I put these 6 layers of cardstock, and then I am using that on top of here, and then putting my last plastic down. So I have hard plastic, metal, fabric, shim with the ridge down, put my cardstock on top, and my other shim. And then I will let it go through the roller here. So when I push it through, I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is, as soon as it grabs it, is just give it a little push till it grabs, and it just rolls it through all on its own, which is fabulous. And then when it comes out the other side, it will have cut the triangles out, since we're working with triangles. Here we go. I take this plastic piece off, and I have all my triangles in here. So, whoop, there we go. So I've got 6 of them cut at once, which is, you know, pretty amazing. Then when I want to do, whoops, I undid my little thing. Get it layered back up, gotta layer it back up. So then I would do that, put that one on, and run through the other side. Now I do want to show you how to think about fussy cutting. So I'll do this triangle after we're done. And let me find those darling mice again. Where'd they go? Okay, so here we've got the mice. Now if I want to, you know, this unit, this triangle is how it's going to be in your, you know, your quilt, and so in this case it's a chevron. So I can actually cut it like this. You know, I can place it. Now, being free, you know, this is called fussy cutting, when you're placing things just so that you know, want the design to be featured. That's called fussy cutting. You don't want to, it does waste, you know, because if I wanted to cut that, then I would cut a little bit around it, so I would get this out. But I could also look for these guys somewhere else. Like here they are reversed, where they're right down at the edge of the fabric. So I can get them in reversed versus cutting them out of the center of the fabric. But whenever you fussy cut an image, whenever you're trying to get just the image, you will have a little bit more waste. But I can just take these side pieces and cut them up for my 2.5-inch squares, or save them for another project. Because if I wanted to flip this right now, you know, like just make another one on the other side, I'm starting to get a little too close to the edge. See, I'm going into the salvage there, and that's not going to work. So when I do this, I'll probably trim around and get 2 mice and cut them out. I'll actually probably get all the mice, and then I'll just do a stack of them and cut them all at once, so I know which direction I have them. So what does a zigzag look like? You can go get the pattern, but I have, hold on, I have a little mock-up so that you can see what I'm doing. So I had these 2.5-inch squares around, and basically you're doing pairs like this. Pairs, 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 right? And they're the long sides together, the color sides together, and then there's more pairs. Here's pairs, here pair, but they're going the opposite way, right? And they're offset one. So instead of being right under here like this, which will give you a different design, they're going to be like this. And then the pattern shows you all this. But for the table runner, you will have 2 of these, and they're bigger. These are 2.5. Ours will be, these are finished 2-inch. Ours will be finished 4-inch for the table runner. So there you go. This is my free pattern for the day. Well, not for the day, it's for any day. It's I originally did it, if you were following along with all my Halloween things, I originally did this for my Halloween sew along. You know, I did a whole bunch of Halloween projects just using Halloween fabric with fun, fast projects. And so the table runner was the first time I did that. And I love it because it is really easy to do and sort of mindless. And with the die cut machine, I can just, you know, cut them and away we go. So for those of you who have written me that say, I need to bind my green quilt, you've written me. You've told me, oh, that bothers you, that that's not bound yet. So my thing is, if I get the table runner tonight, I'm going to take that off the wall and do binding. Now I will do at least 1 more video today, maybe 2, depends on how I do. I might do 2, another really short one, and then a longer one for my fireside chat tonight, and just catch up and see where everybody is for quilt day and how you did. And I'm sure you can quilt tomorrow on Sunday as well. So I'm Pat Sloan, and I am going to be cutting up darling mice. Where'd my mice go? Next I'll be cutting up mice out of Trixie. So cute. Happy quilt day. Take a look at the links, and can't wait to see your projects. Bye-bye.